Welcome back, guys. We're here with Alina today, and she's going to tell us a bit about herself. Alina, tell me about yourself. What are you studying? Where are you studying? And what year are you in?
I study medicine in Burgas University, and I'm going into my second year now.
Oh, nice. How are you finding second year so far?
I feel like it'll be very interesting. We will be studying new subjects. The content that we'll be studying is going to be more detailed this year.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that.
Is it more challenging compared to first year?
Yes, the content that we're going to be learning is more detailed, and there'll be a lot more work and a lot more hours we're going to have to put in.
Yeah. And what are the subjects you're going to be doing this year?
So from last semester we'll be continuing anatomy, Bulgarian and social medicine, and then we'll be starting new subjects as well. Obviously we'll have physiology and biochemistry that we're going to take.
Okay, nice. So exciting times ahead then.
Yes, yeah.
How did you settle in your first year?
In the beginning it was difficult, especially because we didn't have anyone older than us to help us because we were the first year. But I think for me personally it was easy to adapt because I've moved across a lot of countries. So I felt like it was okay, and after a month I was settled in. I was happy, and I like the uni as well. I really like it.
Yeah. What about the country?
The city is nice. I like the city. I don't know about the other ones, but I really like the city. The beach is so pretty, and I don't feel like I'm in danger ever.
And do you visit the beach quite often, or?
Yes, usually when my friends and I need a break from studying, we usually go to the beach because it's so peaceful there, just to chill, relax, and just watch the ocean when we need it.
Yeah, that must be nice.
Fresh breeze. Yeah.
That must be nice. A lot of people tend to take holidays to go to the beach and just have it right on your doorstep.
It's really
amazing.
Amazing, yeah, it's really amazing.
What is your daily routine like in Burgas?
So I wake up and I get ready to go to uni, obviously. I think this semester every day I have classes from 8 a.m. to different times. I think Monday, Tuesday, definitely until 6, 7 p.m, which is long. Those days are hard. But I think days like, for example, Friday, we have until 11 p.m.
Yeah.
Usually when I get a day off early or when I end uni earlier, usually I just chill and catch up on revision for the week.
How long do you revise after you've finished university?
For me personally, it depends on the subject. For example, for practical work, I get my work done on the same day, usually in my lessons.
Yeah.
Like I think in first semester we had cytology, histology, that we were drawing in, and macro and micro anatomy, that we had to draw in what we saw on the slides. So those days I would just get my work in straight away. But for other subjects, it usually depends. Like for anatomy, I would have days or times where I'd go to the uni and actually look at the bones and stuff, or learn through the app, usually more close to my colloquium times. And I think for subjects like biology, I just go over the lectures each day, or at the end of the week definitely if I have had lazy days, and I write my notes, so when I have exam season it's easier for me to revise.
So you would say that you plan ahead of your revision and put in the effort throughout your study?
Yes, it's very important, because when you leave it up also the last minute, it's very hectic.
It's not the one, is it? Yeah, I agree. So on the weekend when you don't have any university, what do you get up to? What do you do?
Usually it depends. If I have work to catch up on, then I prioritize that. But if not, then I'll have a free day. Either I clean or cook, or I hang out with my friends to relax myself from all the stress that I have to go through.
Okay, and do you do any fun activities with your friends, and what kind of activities do you do?
So there is boxing here. I don't go there often, but they have boxing here. Obviously there's a gym as well that's nice, and the swimming as well that I really enjoy here. Yeah, there's unfortunately no girls only areas, but I still go there for fun.
In regards to university itself, how is the lectures like? And you have practical lessons, right? So how are they like?
So obviously lectures is with your whole year group. For me personally, sometimes if you sit at the back you can't really hear that well, so I try my best to sit in the middle or the front, and I try to interact with my teachers and ask questions. Yes, and for practicals, they're in smaller groups, so they're in groups of 10. And I feel like everyone who usually has questions, they are more comfortable to ask it in practical lessons because it's more like personal, and the teachers also like give you more detailed answers as well.
Yeah. And how do you communicate with your teachers? Say, for example, you have a question while you're doing your revision. Do you have a means of communicating with your teachers?
Usually I wait until my next practical lesson to just ask that question, or the lecture. Whenever the teacher's available, that's usually when I ask my questions, but you can email them and they are quite responsive as well.
Where do you go to study? Do you study at home or do you study somewhere outside?
I like studying outside. Usually if there's a nice bench, I go sit there as long as there's a table in front of me. But there's also options to go to the library as well in city centre, which is beautiful, by the way. The building, I'm pretty sure it's brand new. I don't think it's been around for too long. It's really pretty and really gorgeous. And they also have, I think on the first floor, they have a room that looks like a classroom with a whiteboard as well.
Oh, nice.
So when we want to do group sessions, we usually go to that room to study, and one person will teach or work out on the whiteboard and stuff, and everyone else responds.
Yeah, I actually like group studies because I think I learn more when it comes to group studies than actually sitting alone. What me and my friends do actually is we revise whatever is needed to be done, and then get together and we just test each other, and then we try to teach each other as well.
Yeah, that's what we do as well. For parasitology, me and my friends, we gave each other specific subjects to study, and then we got together on a day and we just taught it to each other and tested our knowledge about it. And I feel like you can go through the content quicker when you split the work evenly like that.
Yeah, and I think, what other thing I realized as well when we used to do group studies was like, for something that I thought wasn't important, my friends would have learned that, and they would think it's important. So I would miss it, and they would say it's important. So they would tell me about it and be like, oh wow, I actually thought this wasn't important, but this is important. So with group studies, I actually really enjoy group studies. Group studies are the one for me as well.
They were one of my favorite revision techniques.
Let's talk about finances. So living abroad, you're on your own. How do you manage your money?
That's a good question, So I get a specific amount of allowance each month that my parents send me, because obviously I do not have a job. So my parents provide for me. Obviously there's been times where I've spent all my money and I need to ask for more, but I try not to do that. I try to manage my money wisely. Like I have specific dates set for how much money I should spend in that week.
Yeah.
So obviously I prioritize paying my bills first, like my electricity, water, and also my rent. I also set money aside for my groceries as well, because it's very important for me to eat to survive, And the rest of the money that I have, usually I leave it for fun, or I save up sometimes as well. If I want to go out to eat at a restaurant with my friends, or go have ice cream, or I don't know, do a fun activity, then that's what I leave the rest of the money for.
No, so everything's well managed.
Yes.
Make sure that the important things are done first before. And would you say that this has made you more responsible?
Yes, it has, because before, it's a bad habit, but I used to spend a lot without really thinking about the value of money. And now that I have it in my own hands, I realize how much I need to prioritize, like my rent and my food over other stuff like makeup or shoes or whatever it is. Yeah,
Definitely. I think when you're left to it, and you have to be more responsible yourself, it does make you grow. So you mentioned about rent. How much do you pay per month?
So I have a 2-bedroom apartment that I share with my roommate, and we pay 1,200 levs, which is like 600 euros, and we split that each, so it's 300 we're paying. That doesn't include electricity and water. Okay,
and how much would you say that on roughly average per month you're paying electricity and water bills?
I'd say like in levs 100 to 100. I don't think it's been higher than 150 before. But we obviously split it, so it's 50-50, and it does save us a lot of money than getting one apartment ourselves.
Oh wow, so you got a roommate.
Yes,
how did you find your roommate?
Actually, we had a group chat and I was messaging people from it, and I just chose someone. Obviously I met her beforehand and my mom met her too, and we met their family. But I chose a person that I had a good understanding with, because I think that's really important, especially because you're going to be living with them.
Okay, so do you guys share all the chores and activities in the house?
Yes, we do. So for cleaning, I clean one weekend, she cleans one weekend. That's how we split the chores. Obviously we do our own dishes ourselves and cook ourselves, and our groceries and everything else is separate as well.
looking back at your time so far this whole year, tell me about it. How do you feel like your time was spent throughout this whole year?
In the beginning, when I first arrived, usually my time was spent finding apartments and stuff, and getting to know my way around the city, which I feel like is really important. You need to obviously know like where the hospital is, because I think after third year you're going to be working there as well, and where obviously the grocery stores are, where, I don't know, if you need to go to the opticians, where that is, or like swimming pools or any other hobbies that you have. It's good to know the areas.
And would you say that you found it quite easy at the beginning to find all these things, or did it take you a bit of a while to find all of them?
It was okay. Like, obviously it's not easy. You're in a new city, you don't know the language, you don't know the people. And for us, because we were first year as well, no one could help us, no one can direct us, especially with like the halal meats and stuff like that. In the beginning, we didn't know any places where we can find halal meat or halal restaurants and stuff like that. But as we got to know the city more, we ended up finding more places and getting to know the people here more as well, which are really friendly, by the way.
And how did you communicate with them then?
I communicated with them in English, obviously, because I don't know the language yet. I have been studying Bulgarian, but obviously I don't know it that well. I just know how to order a taxi and say my name and my address. And a lot of the older people, they don't know English that well either, so usually I just pull up Google Translate, which always helps me out if they don't understand what I'm saying. A lot of people here also speak German, which is really interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think they study German here. There's some German schools here.
Okay.
There's so many people I've met, like taxi drivers or people who work in shop, who I can pick up, because I speak German, and I can pick up some words, and I ask them, do they speak German, and they know a little bit, so I can also communicate in that language as well.
Okay, so you managed to find a way to communicate.
Yeah, it's not that difficult.
What did you find the most complicated part when you were transitioning to Bulgaria?
For me, it was figuring out the bus routes, because I'm not really used to public transportation that much. Like, usually I have my parents to drive me around, because, but here, obviously my parents are not here and I don't have my license yet. So I had to figure out the routes myself, and I struggled with it in the beginning a lot, but I found my way, and I know the bus routes and stuff like that now. So it's gotten easier.
And how long did it take you to get adjusted to the education here in Bulgaria?
Not that long, because everything is already in English anyways, and obviously I understand English. Transitioning from high school or college to uni, it is a big jump, because there's a lot of differences, but I feel like I personally adapted quite quickly. Like, I didn't really have an issue with it. Also, getting to know my teachers as well also helped me a lot, because when I was worried about something, I would ask them and they would respond to me and help me. Like, they were always so kind and nice to all the students. So
How often do you go back home?
I usually go every holiday, because the flights here are not that expensive. Even if they're expensive from here, I can travel to Sofia or Istanbul and fly from there. In the summer holidays, I actually went to Spain, and it only was 40 euros, the flight ticket from Sofia. So it's not that expensive over here.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Would you recommend studying abroad to other prospective people that would want to study medicine?
Yes, 100%. I really like studying abroad, especially because I feel like in other countries they're a lot more lenient towards you. Like, for example, I have a cousin who studies in Germany, and they're really, really strict over there. I think in the UK as well, they're a lot more stricter. Here, they're really sweet to you and kind to you as well, I found, which is not really common in German medicine universities. And this has also made me grow up as a person as well, because I've met people with different cultures, different backgrounds. It's quite diverse here, because everyone is coming from abroad, from different countries, not only the UK. And it's so interesting to see how people from different countries live their lives, and it's also brought in a lot into my life as well.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. It was lovely speaking to you, and I'm sure the audience have definitely enjoyed listening to you as well. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.